Hi everyone, we don't have a sketch today, unfortunately. I apologize. This should be the last Skyvault-induced delay. Next week we'll have the sketch up and then we'll be back to our normal schedule properly. We have a 250k week coming out, and we have community comments that we recorded last week, so that's good to go. I'm going to edit it and put it up this Friday. But for today, I didn't want to leave you guys completely empty-handed, so what you're about to see is an episode of White Noise, the video podcast, which is a thing we did back in 2014. It's not good, just want to throw that out there. But what it is like a time capsule thing, because what we recorded a test episode before we ever recorded any of the other 5, which are in like a playlist right now. And we tried to guess what things would be like in our lives and in the world when we finally release that episode as like a time capsule sort of thing. So I just thought it'd be fun to release that as just sort of a look back at where we were 4 or 5 years ago, considering, you know, what we just finished doing this year and how crazy it's been for the last few months.
I can play it on my jowls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like doing it though because it's really
I would like you to do it right now.
Okay. I did that off tune.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Ethan.
I'm JP.
I'm supposed to do my bit there. And this is White Noise, episode something. We don't know yet, because this episode was actually recorded before episode 1 as a test. So if you're seeing this, it's because we weren't able to record an episode this week.
Or the world ended.
This is like the pilot.
Well, they wouldn't be seeing it then, would they?
Well, I mean, like, if the world ended and all that was left was your computer and the internet tower and the internet. Like, where does... This
That's
is
a pretty well-connected person in the apocalypse.
Well, like, my thing is, like, where is the internet? Like, because, like, it's a connection of computers from around the globe, right? But where is the internet? Like, there's going to be a box that just regulates it all.
And it's not, it's It's like, it's all the computers connected together.
So, like, there's not just a thing that regulates every single thing? Like, it just, like, okay...
There's
like,
not like a core of the internet, otherwise, I mean, like, terrorist attacks would be, like, all over the place.
That's not what I mean, but, like... I don't know what I thought, because I thought, like, there had to be, like, a thing that kind of, like, everything went through where there...
Anyway, the reason we're not here this week was probably explained last week. If not, we'll explain it next week. This actually ties in pretty well. Our topic for this week is we're going to try to predict what's going on in the world when we release this episode, because we don't know when we're going to put it out.
I can't imagine it would be that different.
It depends on when, because we could, I don't know, it could be... let's be honest,
old.
It's us.
We could have beards.
So it could be 3 months from now.
Maybe we'll all have beards. That's a good...
We'll all have, like, really long beards.
Let's be optimistic. Let's say, like a year. Like, let's say we make it a whole year without having to release a filler
We're gonna
episode. Because this one increases in value the longer we wait. So
in one
we're
year...
investing.
Yeah.
In 1 year, if we're still in this room...
Well, hopefully we will switch studios. Hopefully this will be weird, because they're like, why are they in the old studio?
Well... Oh, that's gonna be so cool. It's like a little time capsule.
Yeah.
We put, like, our hearts and souls into this little time capsule that we put on the memory card.
Our hearts and souls?
Well, no!
To how long this
Metaphorical
is
hearts and souls. Not. I don't want to put my heart in a memory card. That would hurt.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Well, maybe they'll have that at some point. That's like, well, like way in the future, because they have the whole 3D printing organs thing now.
Oh yeah, that creeps
Right.
me out a little bit.
I want to be put into a robot before I die. That's like one of my things.
I'll keep that in mind.
Like, I want to, well, it depends, because, like, there's the whole event, you know, if you talk about, like, transferring your brain digitally or something, then it starts getting into the whole weird, like, what is consciousness really kind of crap.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that, but if they could, like, physically put my brain in, like, a fishbowl thing, like, on a robot, be okay with that.
You'd be very weak. I would just put, like, fish.
If they could have RoboCop me, that would be alright.
There's a new RoboCop movie.
I know.
I
know.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Kyle knows.
I mean, I didn't see the first one, really, that much. I saw half of it. I didn't see the second half.
There were 3 RoboCop movies.
It was on,
And the third one was apparently really bad.
I plan to not watch any of them.
That's probably an okay
I like
policy.
I like his philosophy.
So in a year, what do you think?
There'll be another new RoboCop movie. A remake of the original RoboCop 2.
Remake of RoboCop.
Wait.
Okay, so Ethan's prediction for a year from now is RoboCop. RoboCop 2. The reboot of RoboCop 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I think we will have just seen the monumental release of Kids Bop 217.
No!
Do they still make those now?
They
Yes,
still do.
they're on Kids Bop like 30, aren't they?
Yes.
I mean, they only advertise those on Nickelodeon.
I can look up what the newest Kid Bops is.
We need to bring like tablets next time.
I can do
have
my
an
phone.
iPad now.
You have an iPad?
I do. It's an original
I'm gonna
iPad.
I'm gonna do it. What is
so
the
they
newest
can't
Kid
update
Bop?
past a certain version,
That
which means it
sucks.
can't download any apps because they're like you can't use this unless it's
How do you spell
unless
Kids
it's
Bop?
at least
Is it
this
K-I-D?
version.
KIDZ.
Not
Z.
Kids.
Kids.
Hang on, Z.
Kids Bop.
So terrible. Kids Bop 25 is what's coming. Does anyone really buy these?
I don't.
There's nothing as endearing
I mean,
as
they keep
hearing
making
children's voices going, I wanna pop some tags, only got $20 in my... It's like, alright.
My friend, it was like the middle of the night, my friend said, hey, want to hear the apocalypse? And I was like, what does that entail? He then sent me Kids Bop, Oppo Gangnam Style.
Oh, Jesus.
I got physically
there's
ill.
something. There will definitely be another
Kids Bopper
YouTube
too.
hit before the next year.
What does the Oppo
We should
Oh,
set
say?
it-
that's a good
But if we
point.
can predict what that is, then we should make it. Because then we'll get a, so, if we can
Okay.
predict what that is, we shouldn't share it on this show.
What if it's us?
It's us. It is us. Kids Bop
one of these
25
episodes.
available now. Ooh, I wonder what songs are on it. I can't
If
wait.
it's one of these episodes, it'll have to be something crazy, like one of us will have to like accidentally get knocked out, or it'll be at someone's expense if we become viral.
Maybe it'll be one of our videos. We've never done viral before. We never come
I'm
remotely
glad
close
that
to
I've never
viral.
gotten to viral before.
That's why we're doing these. We can't talk about this like it's the first episode is the problem, like introducing it, because
It's the first episode, by the way.
it's our first episode. This is... Yeah.
I think my phone's dying because it's going to the Kids Bop website. Kids Bop 25 is the newest trend.
Don't do this to me.
It's like sparks start shooting out of it. No, I want a song list. I have to know. I know that Kids Bop's ultimate hits. All of your favorite Kids Bop songs on one CD. How
is
can
that? Okay, I don't... This is...
Okay,
we're
no
spending
more.
too much time on Kids Bop.
No, you never
You're
spend
welcome.
enough time on Kids Bop. I'm sorry. Kids Bop is the only
Okay,
thing.
so maybe a year is like too close. So how about like...
I'm predicting 3 years.
Let's say we forget it. Yeah, in like 3 years from now. Because that's a lot of time. Like over the last year, we did a lot of crap. Like a lot of stuff happens in 1 year.
Have we gone over the fact that 2013 was the worst year?
Like when was 3 years? 3 years ago for us.
2010. I didn't know you.
2010.
Did I know you?
No, yeah, you've been here
I knew
5
Kyle.
years.
Who knew you first?
You definitely knew first.
I don't know.
No,
Because I started
you
teaching him in
talked-
Junior year of
2009.
high
talking
school
about-
was
It was probably the
2010.
same time because I
No, you
started
mentioned
teaching him in
JP.
2010.
You mentioned
2009.
him to me. You said he's my music guy. The first
Did I?
day. Yeah.
Okay. This
Yeah.
isn't interesting at all. 3 years. What is-
In the future, 3 years.
Yeah,
So
3 years in the future now.
2000
So that was 2011. That was a long time ago.
2017.
Oh, well, okay,
That's
let's
the same
see.
amount of time.
First of all, I think
2017.
That's a nice year. I like the sound of it.
Maybe.
2017.
Sounds kind of dystopian. Odd numbers sound more dystopian future than even numbers. do.
2016. Sounds like
yes,
really.
it's like yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
nuclear.
But it's 2017. It's like, oh,
That's like
Today in
Oh, no.
2017, the
that's
world
like
is
some
ending.
1984 crap. Right? Well, then 1984 is an even number, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
There's no theory. You can't predict it. I'm sorry.
Because like I realize when I'm going to be 60, it's going to be approximately 2054.
That is the most
Which
futuristic
is,
sounding
that sounds like
year.
super futuristic.
Super future.
So
What do
how
you
about
want
that
to do
far
when you're
ahead?
60?
How about that far ahead?
When you're
We're
60, we're 60 years old?
We've forgotten that we recorded this episode.
2050.
We've possibly even totally failed at making this into a series. We just
just-
find this on our computer after we've made like some Hollywood
On our
movies or
computer?
something.
You mean on our brain?
Hopefully.
Our brain chip?
Brain chips? I
Won't
don't think
be-
we'll have brain chips by that
The
point.
computers will be like food by then.
maybe you'll be a robot by then.
Maybe. I don't know, it seems early.
What do you want to do when you're 60 years old? Because I have it all figured out.
Depends on how healthy I am, I guess.
I mean, no. I mean, like regardless. Like, just what's a fun thing that you want to do? Because should I say my example?
Because I'm 60 or by the time
Because
I'm
you're
60? Or...
Because you're 60. Because you're like the perfect age to do fun things as an old man.
What?
Get discounts at
What
Denny's.
fun things do you do as an old man? That's...
I have it figured out. Okay. I'm going to have my
Play golf.
Well, no, it's not fun. That's like nerve-wracking and spinal breaking. But maybe I don't
You're
know.
playing golf wrong.
Extreme golf, future golf, 2054 golf. I'm gonna be an old man. I'm gonna get a brown professor jacket. I'm probably gonna be balding. I'm gonna
Okay.
get like a pipe, like an antique pipe,
You could pull off that.
and I'm probably
I
gonna
need
be.
to get you a pipe for the show, I think.
No, I don't smoke. But I'm gonna be at the age when I'm
Bubble
60.
pipe.
Oh, that'll work. No, dang it, you ruined it. I was gonna be 60 years old. I'm gonna have a tobacco pipe, and I'm gonna smoke tobacco because I'm gonna be that old.
You're gonna pick up smoking at age 60.
Well, it's not that it doesn't matter. It's just like it pulls off the look so well. And then once in a while, I'm gonna be with my friends, and we're all slowly going insane because we're just getting to that.
By
age.
60 already?
Maybe. Well, I'm
I'm
already
hoping they'll be able to keep us healthier longer by the time we're 60. That we won't be like
I mean,
60.
the average 60-year-old
now.
is pretty healthy these days.
Even now, yeah, compared to how they were.
But I don't mean like crazy as in bad crazy. I mean you're a crazy old man. You're having fun because you're a crazy old man. I don't know. My views on the elderly, like you should be doing backflips, but I know you're not able to do that. But so anyway, tobacco pipe. Once in a while, I'm gonna like just be sitting with my friends smoking tobacco, and they're not gonna pay me any attention. And once in a while, I'm gonna like remove all the tobacco from it and dip it in bubbles, and then blow bubbles and see which one of them like freaks out and has a heart attack. And that's how it's like the Hunger Games, but with me in a bubble pipe.
Hunger Games. When did what?
He's talking about the style.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna be like hunting each other with bows and pipes. I mean,
the way you're describing it, you're the guy watching the kids hunt each other with bows and pipes.
like, hey, why does he have bubbles?
Why pipes? Hey, Joe's here. I didn't expect
It
that.
is Joe.
Who's that?
That's the guy who runs the place.
Are we not supposed to be here at this time?
Well, no, and he said we can come in. I just assumed nobody would be here.
Oh.
Joe's here. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey guys.
We can leave if you want us to. Okay.
So,
Joe always smells really nice.
Say that a little louder.
I mean, like, I'm serious. He always does. Like, whenever he enters, like, a room, it's like incrementally nicer smelling.
All right.
Sorry if that's creepy. I just notice it. It's really nice. Like, have you ever had like a friend like they walk in the room and it smells better?
no.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess you have really smelly friends, which says a lot about us. Thanks, Kyle.
Unrelatable thing of the day.
I'm
So,
sorry.
I think, I was actually thinking about the other day, and I think once people get to, like, being however old we are, that we have to be in, like, nursing homes or whatever back in the, once we get in the future.
I don't know if I can.
Once you get to that point, well, it's interesting because you think of like old people now, and there's like a stereotypical old person that old people do. But we won't have the same stereotypes.
We'll be future old.
Well, we're gonna be like sitting around the old person home, like
Twerking. At least I would.
No. Okay, maybe you, but not me.
No?
I didn't expect that. I was gonna say like playing our vintage Xbox 360s and things like that.
Guys, I found a Super Nintendo. Whoa! It just freaks out. Because an Xbox 360 would be the equivalent of a Super Nintendo.
This is the difference. You see, this is the difference here.
We're gonna be twerking with our 360s.
We're gonna be
Bubble
hearing all
pipes.
these kids with their virtual reality.
Talking about those kids.
These kids, they don't twerk like they used to. I remember when that was the only wholesome dance.
Where did the sandbar update?
Wholesome. It used to mean so much more.
5 minutes.
There was, I don't know what it was, there was some video I saw where it was like someone was going to a party, it was like Kids of the Future. And
Yeah.
like oh put on my music, and it was just like one like really high pitched noise for like 30 seconds. Like I could never get into your kids' music. Like remember Nicki Minaj? Ah, those were the days. I forgot what that was, but it's like I wonder if that will happen because like people reference like older music like that was more wholesome. You know, sometimes it was, but sometimes it really wasn't.
Yeah.
But like, will that happen with today's music
Probably.
in the future?
Yeah, it will, but
Like, will Oppa Gangnam Style
When
be a
people look
spiritual
at today's
message?
music, like, yeah, this is all crap compared. I mean, what happened to the rock and roll and all that? Back when rock and roll was a thing. That
Like
was,
everyone thought it was crap.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
Not
that was
everyone.
crap.
Actually,
that was like the old people of the day were like.
Hey, you devil music.
Yeah.
well, the industry is so different now that there's so many
Why are we talking about
artists.
this? You talk about this.
Yeah, you're better.
There's just so many big artists these days that are way more than back then. So like,
That's true, too.
50 years from now, people won't be talking about Nicki Minaj or Kesha or Justin Bieber, but they might be talking about people like Bruno Mars and like I don't know,
That's a good point.
The Weeknd and bands like that are actually doing good stuff.
That's a really good. I think like
Rather than just this temporary pop
The
sensation kind of thing.
15
YouTube
minutes of
kind of messes
fame.
with that too, like the
Yeah.
whole thing. Like
I know my
we
buddy.
have so much video. That's another thing I thought of actually. That now like we can see like a photograph of Abraham Lincoln or something like from a little while from
Yeah.
100 years ago, more than that, however long ago that was. I don't remember. I should probably know that, but that's like all we get. And now,
We have so
when
much.
they're looking at this, they're gonna. I mean, how many hours of this thing are we gonna have by the time
Like that was one moment of Abraham
we're
Lincoln
done?
in this like
Yeah,
really
it's like
all
one
thick half
frame of that
Lincoln.
time period, and now we have like more
Hours
videos on
and
YouTube than
hours.
you could possibly watch.
unboxing
now.
videos,
Lots of
just
data.
hours of unboxing
Yeah.
videos.
Videos people like opening crap they get in the mail.
Whoa, guys! I got
Like,
my socks.
There's
Whoa!
not gonna be any question anymore like what happened back in the day. You're not gonna be able to lie about it in history books.
Unless there's like a super like huge apocalypse and like people find like relics of like past society, like oh god, I don't even know. It's so weird to think about like what happens if like a lot of the data, like this generation we're creating data, right? Like videos, like you were saying, pictures of everyone taking selfies. Now, if there's an apocalypse and like the future people, they find like 5 selfies and like a gameplay video. Like what is this? What is this ritual? What is this slender ritual that they're talking about? And
Well,
just-
it kind of like the
Just had to get one in.
you're saving the future. One
Yes.
one selfie at a time.
But see, that'll disappear.
Yeah.
Like the important stuff, like Library of
Not if I
Congress or
don't want it to
something,
disappear.
They'll hold on to that stuff.
The Library
But
of
eventually-
Congress will have a selfie section.
Not that stuff. They'll hold on to their
Great.
stuff, and then our stuff won't be there anymore. It's kind of like the Egyptians. Everybody thinks of them as I'm like that's my favorite ancient civilization or whatever, just because everybody thinks they're, you know,
Obsessed
if
with
you
death.
think of Egypt, yeah, it's like, you know, the obsessed with death group. They have tombs and stuff everywhere,
They're
but they
not.
actually weren't. It's just that they lived along the river, right, where all the water was. So the stuff from their day-to-day life, individual people drew their own hieroglyphics all over their home walls and stuff, but all that stuff collapsed because they're next to a river. They put all the tombs out in the desert because they didn't want those next to the red, because, you know, why wouldn't you? It's like, we're burying our dead people, where do we put them?
Could you imagine how arduous
We're not out
that
there,
must
put
be?
them that way. So all the stuff from living got destroyed, and all the dead stuff got preserved because it's out in the desert, and that's the parts we find now. So
Nothing
we're like, oh,
like
that's,
goes through the desert.
they're obsessed with, you know, death
Dying.
and stuff, so it might be something similar for us, you know.
Perhaps.
Our individual stuff will disappear, and all that's left are these
So like
giant, you know, maybe
so
like
like
textbooks
Corpus
or something.
Corpus
every now and
Christi
then,
will just
or-
be gone, and like Austin will still be
Like
here.
Corpus Christi.
I think Corpus
It's on the
Christi is
coast.
already gone.
Okay. and then-
Oh, so the Olympics are happening right now.
Oh
How
yeah.
about that? That's a thing.
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Those are
Is it the
those are
Winter
going
Olympics?
great, aren't they? Right.
No, are they?
Did you see the opening ceremony?
Aren't
Well,
they,
because
like-
Russia's like anti-gay, and so everyone's passively
there's that
aggressively
whole thing.
like
Yeah.
And then
showing
Canada-
their pride.
I
Canada
know.
made that bobsled commercial, which was funny, I guess.
I did think the Google thing was pretty funny. I don't know
What?
if you noticed that.
Did they have
It's
the-
passive aggressive Google thing.
The rainbow.
Well, it's each letter is in like a strip, and then each block has like one of the events in it or whatever. But each block is also a different color, like in rainbow order.
Oh.
That's not explicitly stating it.
Subliminal.
But yeah,
Oh, cool.
that was pretty great.
And
They
then
had the
Scheper-
opening ceremonies though, and it looked like they had planned it out really cool. But then like the last bit, like they had like snowflakes that lowered, and then the snowflakes like expanded into the rings.
Yeah.
And then like one didn't work,
Oh.
so like only 4 of them went off, and then
The Olympic.
the 5th one like just stayed like this little crumpled up ball next to the end of it. And so of course, you know, everybody's already like making gifs of that and stuff.
It's the shriveled,
Like
non-beating
putting
heart.
the Internet Explorer logo over the one that doesn't load and all the other browsers and the other ones, things like that.
Oh, no.
So that's interesting.
I don't know. I mean,
I feel like the Olympic events are like I was watching, there was one, they had it on at a restaurant today that I was in, and there's one that was like the ski jump thing. Like they start in like this chute, and then like on the skis,
Yeah.
they launch down, and then they hit the edge on the ramp, and then they like fly up, right? And then they're like doing that thing where they got like the skis
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
straight out in front of them, right?
Yeah.
And then they land, and then that's their thing. That's what they do.
how do you?
And I
judge
guess
that?
they get a medal off of that. But it seems like you're, like think about all the practice that goes into it for that exact moment. Like
When
you do
you're-
that over and over and over again. You probably mess up sometimes just cause you do, right?
Yeah.
Like something happens and you mess up. And
You get really
do it
bad
over and
gas
over,
on
and
the
then you
way
have this
down.
one time, like, okay, I have to do, this one has to be perfect, or everything I've ever done leading up to this point
It
is
doesn't-
totally
yeah, it doesn't
nullified.
exist. And
It's
one-
true.
the Winter Olympics.
Like, that's a lot of pressure for that one thing.
It is.
Like, I've been, been exercising my legs, I've been practicing skiing, I've been doing this ramp over and over. I'm sure it's very difficult, but, probably way harder than you think it is looking at it. and you're like, okay,
Yo, right there.
Okay.
I'm finally
Still
here.
water everywhere.
I have to jump one time. If I mess up, I fail.
That's true.
That seems, it's not even like, you can't even, if you mess up, it's not even like if it was a game, like a competition or something, where it's back and forth.
Yeah.
Where, it's kind of like, if you lose like a football game or something, you can be like, well, it was, it was close there for a little bit, we did a good job anyway with that. It's like, well,
I
that
tried.
It's like a bomb.
That's done. Guess I'm gonna go drink now.
It's a lot like an explosive. Like, it could explode and do really well, or it could just not go off and like everyone hates you.
Or just like a gust of wind could come and throw everything off right when you're in
You're like going down the hill and get really, really bad gas, and you're just like, I don't want to do this. I don't know, like other like internal things, and you're like your leg cramps, or like you get a really weird thought, and you're like, I don't want
It just
this.
seems like there should be more. There should be like a string of things that you do. Maybe there is. Maybe they jump like 3 times or something and take like.
You want
best
the
out of
Olympics
it
to
or
be like
whatever,
a
but-
triathlon, don't you?
Yeah, well, I don't know, just more competitive. But then I don't watch competitive sports either. I don't give a crap about football or anything.
Yeah.
College football.
You know what I think I would? There's 2 changes I think they could make to American football that it would make me actually enjoy watching it. And one is that they shouldn't take breaks. Like, they stop whenever something happens, right? Like, somebody tackles somebody and they break.
Yeah,
right?
they
Like that's
stop.
how all sports work. They have, like, this is how long the game lasts, like, this inning lasts 20 minutes. Okay. But it doesn't actually last 20 minutes because they
It's
stop in
like
the
an
middle of it
hour.
every now and
Yeah.
then and then wait and then come back and restart the clock. They shouldn't do that. They should, if you get tackled, the rest of the team should just, like, pile on and try to wrestle the football out of the pile of, like, giant people.
There'd be a lot of injuries.
And it shouldn't stop until you hit the end with the football.
If there are any
That would be way more entertaining.
if there are any real athletes watching this, we probably look so ignorant right now.
I'm sure I do. I'm just saying I would watch it if you did that.
There'd be so many injuries.
It's probably a terrible idea, but
It's
it
a
would
really
make me
bad
watch
idea.
it.
There'd be so many injuries.
The other thing they should do is change the terrain of the field mid-game, like on Pokemon Stadium.
No.
You
They should hit halftime and be like, okay, we're loading up the Volcano Mountain Arena now.
Of course. I knew
Have,
you were
like,
going to
the lava
say.
pit.
No.
Like, we're 3/4 of the way through, it's tundra time, we're loading up the snow, we're swapping the thing out.
it's tundra time.
Tundra time.
Jesus.
We got the factory with the loose electrical wires and the treadmills and crap.
That sounds like if
that'd be
someone
better.
buys
I'd
if
watch
like
that.
they sell like 1,000 hot dogs, it's tundra time. Whoa, just mountains spring out of the. That'd be dumb.
I would watch it.
I would.
That would make me watch
because
it.
everyone would break their everything, like just like falling down the things.
So are you gonna just randomly pick?
So we're gonna pick our topic for this week. Best or worst is a segment that we've probably done multiple times.
We've done it
Just
before
in
on the
case.
So many
podcast.
times.
Yeah.
How it
No,
works
we've done it
is-
tons of times. We do this like all the time.
Every week.
Whenever we get together to eat lunch, we do this.
Yeah.
Just best or worst burger. Well, how it works is like there's a scenario that we draw from this hat, and all of us have to name our best experience with it.
Or worst. I think we should switch to
both.
or.
Or?
Yeah, because a lot of times we hit it and we do like, well, here's my worst one. That's interesting. Best one's not. 'Cause
I guess
it's
pick the most interesting
Pick-
one.
Yeah, either one.
Okay.
Anyway, our topic for this week is best or worst gift.
Oh, I have a worst gift.
Okay.
It
Worst
was. I mean, it was my birthday. I think it was like my 16th or 17th birthday, and I had a friend who shall remain nameless because it is the worst gift I've ever received.
They'll know.
She will know.
You'll know.
It's a she. That's all I'm gonna reveal. And
Narrowing it down.
she comes to my house, tells me she has my birthday present. She's so excited to give it to me. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? Come over. You know, you live close by. You come on over. So my friend, I have another friend who's with me at the house, and she says she has his birthday present too, because his was shortly before mine. So she's like, come in. We're like, oh boy, we're getting presents. So she comes. She has a big Batman balloon, and I'm like, oh cool, a balloon. She gives it to him, and because he's into Batman, so it's like cool. And then for me, she has this bag, and she gives me the bag, and I'm like, oh boy. I pull out one of those giant pencils. It's a giant blue pencil that's like yay big around, and that's it. I get a giant pencil.
Oh, just a big. It was his birthday present, the Batman.
Does it
Yeah.
work? Like, is it a functional?
It's a
pencil
functional
at least, or-
pencil, but it's a pencil.
How do you sharpen it?
You don't.
It's like a knife.
Just a chainsaw. I get like a package of socks, and they all had holes in them already.
What?
Like like they weren't used or anything. They just like it looked like there was a manufacturing error that like ripped like the bottom of the socks. 'Cause they were just like a bunch of holes in the bottom of the socks. And like some of my socks already have holes in them because like my shoes.
I mean, were they like symmetrical, like the same hole on every sock?
They were like slightly shifted over in each one. Like it was like someone like
took a cookie cutter thing.
yes, it like someone took like a hole puncher and just like snapped holes in my socks. And like I already have holes
Somebody
in my
just like go rogue at the factory or something and just break in at night like screw all you guys. Alright, well let's go ahead and end this episode. Because this is before the first episode, we don't actually have any mail to respond to. So if you commented last week, we're not going to be able to get to it just now because we haven't seen it because we're back in time. Makes it difficult. So I guess we can go ahead and just close out with the
Would you rather have your hands switched for dustpans or be sweating jam instead of sweat?
God. What kind of jam?
I guess you get to pick. You get to pick the jam.
Jam's like the one that has bits in it, right? Not like jelly.
Sweating like chunks.
But it would smell fruity. You would always smell good.
I don't know, I could be like Kyle Dustpan hands or something.
See, I very much need the use of my hands.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But then imagine if you get mad at someone and just go whack!
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna clean up this mess.
You'd be Dustpan Man.
Dustpan Man.
Just run around fighting crime and cleaning the streets. And there's nothing. Like,
you
literally cleaning the streets
probably,
and metaphorically cleaning the streets.
But like you'd be like the worst super.
But
like,
you could you'd have to like have a sidekick who has like brooms for the hands.
Or brooms
you
for
couldn't
feet
really do
or something, yeah.
Just with dustpans, it wouldn't work.
The problem with that is like, what are the dustpans? Are they like plastic dustpans? And then you like shatter them like in your first day of fighting. If they were like titanium dustpans, you could like block bullets with them.
I'm going for the jam. I will go with a nice peach jam.